Some of you winning the lottery with rain tonight. Our live Viper 6 radar shows some showers moving through parts of the viewing area this evening, and we'll continue to see some of those during the overnight. About a 20% chance of that. You're watching WJBF News Channel 6, where you always get your most accurate forecast first. As you wake up tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., 69 degrees and muggy. More rain chances on the way. Stay tuned to find out.
Tonight at 11, gas stations running on fumes as we look into the fuel shortage in Augusta and how first responders will cope when it comes to getting to emergency calls in the Garden City.
Plus, a new lease on life for Payne College, at least for now. Why the school got a bit of hope today after a weekend of disappointing news.
And education for inmates, a program offering GED classes. News Channel 6 at 11 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Hey everybody, I'm Brad Means.
I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you for joining us tonight. Coverage you can count on begins with a gas shortage in the Garden City in light of a leak on Colonial Pipeline, which carries fuel from Houston to New Jersey. Gas isn't getting to our parts fast enough for demand. A lot of gas stations with bagged pumps today, while many other stations in the area are operating without any issue. The problem isn't a lack of gas, we're told. It's finding a way to transport it while the Colonial Pipeline is operating at half its normal capacity. One man says the gas has not affected his daily routine that much at all.
It's no big deal, amount of inconvenience, I didn't sweat it. I thought the prices might be a little higher than they were. Some people gouged this time. But I mean, it was like $2.07. It's a little higher than normal, but it wasn't bad.
The leaking section of the pipeline is still closed. Crews are working on a bypass to get the fuel moving again. Colonial says repairs could be complete this week.
And new tonight, we are taking a deeper look into the gas situation and what first responders in this area are doing to stay fueled up. Fire trucks use diesel fuel, so they're not affected by this hiccup in the pipeline situation. But what about the deputies? How are they going to roll if gas runs out? News Channel 6's Ashley Doss live at a gas station on Wrightsboro Road for us tonight. Good evening, Ashley.
Good evening, Brad, and you're right. Believe it or not, police officers are just like us when it comes to using gas at the pumps. They use the same regular gas that we use, and when there's a shortage, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office said they take extra precautions to make sure they have enough fuel to patrol the streets. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office has several hundred vehicles out patrolling the streets every day.
We have investigators, court services, jail transportation.
But Major Strickland says the gas shortage here in Augusta isn't getting in the way of officers' ability to get the job done.
We have not had a problem keeping our cars fueled and ready to go.
Just like most of us, Richmond County Police rely heavily on local gas stations in the area. He says currently the issue is more about a delayed delivery rather than an actual shortage of fuel. When
we knew that the fuel would still be delivered, it just wouldn't be maybe at the same rate as it was before. We just reminded our guys obviously to conserve when applicable. As always, we want to be good stewards with the resources that the county gives us.
Although he says they haven't been directly affected by the gas shortage, he says if they ever needed gas, they would reserve it as a precaution.
We started making those initial arrangements with several of the retailers and say, hey, look, if we come to you, can you please save us a little bit back in the event that things get to be at an emergency state.
The local store owner, Ahmad Fuita, whose station is completely out of gas, said he would gladly help officers in need.
If we have it at the moment when they call us, we definitely save it for them because we know how important their job. So I think if they do call me, I will definitely save it for them.
Now, while we're speaking of gas, this Raceway gas station that I'm at now is currently out of gas, but as you can see, there's actually a fuel truck that just arrived to deliver gas to this gas station, so they should be up and running tomorrow. Now, as I spoke with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, they told me they have a similar fuel truck, not as big as this one, of course, but it also is used to deliver personal gas to vehicles that may be in need during a disaster. Reporting live in Wrightsboro Road, I'm Ashley Doss, WJBF News Channel 6.
Governor Nathan Deal issued a state of emergency order this morning to prevent price gouging at the pump. That means gas must go no higher than the price it was when the declaration was made, which was at 9 a.m. There's an exception. If the cost to the retailer goes up, then it can raise its prices, but only at its normal rate.
And our storm spotters reported highs today pretty much in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. 88 is what Melinda reported in North Augusta. Barry over in New Ellington reporting a high of 90, and Linda down in Louisville 89 degrees today. Got a little bit of a breeze out at Augusta Regional Airport right now with the flag flying there in our Jiffy Lube Skyview Network camera. And as we take a look at Live Viper 6, we have some rain moving through parts of the CSRA. And this little line here is that gust front that moved through a little while ago. Some of you had some gusty winds and some of you getting some much needed rain. Most of that will be gone in the morning, but still a 20% chance of a few showers at 7 a.m. That'll continue through noon, and then a better chance of rain tomorrow afternoon at about 40% with highs in the mid 80s.
Rich, thanks. Now to a developing story that has historic Payne College back in the spotlight tonight. Today, a community of supporters of Payne heard what everybody needs to do to try to save that school from shutting down. News Channel 6's Renetta Dubose has followed this story for months and has the latest from school leaders.
The Payne College, located in Augusta, Georgia, is hereby reinstated to membership in the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges and Schools.
Good news for Payne College Lions.
And I feel good because, I had a little worry, that I was going to have to transfer, my first year. It's like a blessing so I can further my education at this college.
Basically says until further notice, we are back to a status of being on probation. Those sanctions are still there, and we have to work to get them removed. We just now have more time. We're able to talk to them about accepting the documentation that we have put together that was not accepted.
As lawyers worked in federal court in Atlanta, Sullivan took questions and comments from people itching to know what's going on.
I have never had a negative outlook on the success of Payne.
Where do I go from here?
If the injunction is not granted, then what will happen? And if the injunction is granted, then what will happen?
One by one, Sullivan answered those questions and discussed another plan, an alternative to SACS called the Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools.
The criteria are very similar, except for tracks. There needs to be a clearly defined mission that reflects the Christian values of the institution.
Many supporters stressed wanting to help Payne financially, but worried leaders in the past mishandled funds. Sullivan assured all he's never been investigated, and there is new leadership in place, leaders who equally attract other leaders in the fight to save Payne.
From an educational point of view, as well as what it means within the community itself. There's a lot of folks who graduated from Payne who now are leaders in our community, and we need to keep it going in that direction.
Renetta Dubose, WJBF News Channel 6.
A Fort Gordon colonel is facing jail time accused of distributing child pornography. Cyber Command Colonel Jonathan Hurwitz is accused of sending and receiving pictures and videos. An investigator with the Georgia Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force began looking into the download of a file of interest to child pornography investigations. Law enforcement was able to track down the download to a computer belonging to Hurwitz. Investigators say he admitted to downloading child porn and said he had never sexually abused any children.
Columbia County leaders getting ready to whittle down their list when it comes to the general obligation bond. It is going to be a list of countywide projects, and it'll be up for a vote on November's ballot. Taxpayers would foot the bill, about $46 a year for your average homeowner. And the county administrator says commissioners have been meeting with residents, and many of them have one thing on their mind.
I think the common theme here is we need to continue our high quality of life initiative in Columbia County, and that we need the kind of projects that go along with that. And this particular bond issue really has a lot of the quality of life things in it.
There's also talk of a large performing arts center. The county's going to meet next Monday to finalize the deal and let voters know more.
Kmart on Gordon Highway is closing its doors. A liquidation sale will start Thursday to help get rid of merchandise before the closing day in December. Shop Your Way customers can still use other Kmart locations. Shopping at Kmart is still available online.
Well, employees at a local restaurant are out of work tonight. Staff at the Ryans on Knox Avenue in North Augusta learned their fate yesterday when they got to work and the doors were closed for business. Ryans marketing department confirms the store filed for bankruptcy protection and they were going through lease agreements prior to shutting down.
Be sure to join me tomorrow at 12:30 for Jenny. This week, we've got tips on renting your house for masters, a peek at a local YouTube sensation's new web TV show, and alerts about fraud and scams that affect two groups in particular, college students and senior citizens. A fraud expert from AARP Georgia out of Atlanta joins us with important advice to keep your identity and your bank accounts safe.
But one of the things AARP has recognized is that we need to talk to the con artists themselves. And there are two things that they've told us. One is that victims do not verify information. So we don't read the fine print, and also we don't ask enough questions. Sometimes if we ask enough questions, we can get the right and truthful answers.
You can keep up with the latest scams in our area or report what's happened to you on the AARP Fraud Watch Network by logging on to aarp.org.
How about this, a way for inmates to improve their education while they're behind bars?
A look at a local GED program here in Augusta right after the break.
And our school forecast looking pretty muggy as we go into your Tuesday. Temperature starting off in the upper 60s, warming to the mid 80s by the final bell, and we'll give it a grade of a B. Your 6-day forecast right after the break.